Hello, and welcome to the Weird Canadian. A little bit of an intro to the channel. I am the Weird Canadian. Why did I call myself that? Well, to show you a little bit, I'm going to go over some Canadian stereotypes, which, for the most part, are pretty true. So, our first one. We say A lot. That I do. I do say A a lot. Most times, I don't even know. So, please point those out. Um, Something that I have to work on. Maple syrup is bae. So fun fact, I do not like sugar all that much. I have a little bit of here there where I like treats, but sugar's not my thing. And we get more table syrup than maple syrup here, so I don't get it. Tim Hortons is our favorite fast food. No, that's just not true. Um, First off, Tim Hortons coffee is trash. It is like bottom of the barrel coffee. The only reason we drink it a lot is because it's literally everywhere, on every street. We are super polite. I do have to say that I am super polite. I do apologize a lot, so I am going to apologize for apologizing. I also apologize in advance for offending anybody. I have this tendency to overtalk and overshare to clarify things, and it ends up pushing people away. So I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to be upfront about who I am. So I'll give you that. We don't get cold. Um, yeah, this is one of the things that does not go well with me. I freeze. Could be 30 degrees outside. Celsius, by the way. We talk in Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Um, and I'd be freezing. It may be winter right now, but I'm like nice and cozy in my little onesie. Another reason why I'm the weird Canadian. I'm very much trying to be my authentic self by dressing the way that makes me feel most comfortable. Our lives revolve around hockey. I hate sports. It's not something I like to watch at all. Very much would don't mind playing it now and then, but I am not a physical person. I played paintball when I was younger, soccer, baseball, but it's not. I, I much prefer esports and being behind a computer. Another reason for why I'm the weird Canadian. I'm actually terrified of doing this. Um, Never in my life did I think I'd be on camera, uh, but this is something I've always wanted to do, and I'm willing to push my uncomfortability to do it. So please be kind. For now, at least. Once we grow and become a community and have dissenting disagreements, I am more than happy to have my ego taken down. I just wanted to give a little bit of information about myself. I currently live in Newfoundland, Canada. I just recently moved from Ontario, where I was a software engineer for 8 years with the Ontario government. Um, we decided that Ontario was just too much for us and we didn't want to live there anymore. It just has too many problems, mainly from the government. So we packed up our two dogs and three cats and drove to a land or a province we've never been to before. Um, and this starts our adventure. Being here really gives us the opportunity to do the things we want to and keep kind of the lifestyle we had back in Ontario. Um, in terms of other things about me, I am a giant geek. I love anime, cosplaying, video games, TV shows, sci-fi. Like I've been watching anime since I was 12, I think, when you still had to like search for it on the internet and you couldn't really find what you were looking for half the time. Um, and I have backgrounds in computer engineering as well as computer networking and technical support. Um, I run a 3D printing business with my partner. Link down below. We're called Brico Creations. Please support us if you can. I also run a nonprofit to help support the Cubans in their time of need. I will also link that below. We're called All for Cuba or A Lot of Love for Cuba. If you can support, anything is greatly appreciated. Um, Going forward, I hope to promote more social causes and trying to kind of bring people together. So, why start this podcast now? And to be honest with you, there's a million reasons why I shouldn't. There's a million reasons why I should. I just feel as if in the American stage, Canada hasn't really had a presence, and I'd like to have a voice in the conversation at large. Our elected officials don't try to help us out. They don't understand our struggles, but yet they say they do. And our mainstream media is just fed whatever our government would like them to say. I really want to get into the nitty gritty, understand why we're doing the things we're doing, and maybe come up with better suggestions, try and figure out better solutions. As it is now, Canada's under threat, and we can't even come together to have a conversation about what to do about it. And it just seems like right now, we're not having conversations. So, one of my hopes for this channel is that we can have a real conversation. And if you disagree with me, please comment below. I'd love to discuss it. Um, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm hoping my channel will go. So I wanted to start off this by addressing this clip that came out a few days ago with Kevin O'Leary. Um, it kind of disturbed me in terms of where he was going, so I'm just going to play a clip here and show you what I mean.
But I'm very fortunate to have 10 million followers, and I broadcast to them, and they say what they think. And what I'm hearing is different than what you're hearing. A lot of Americans are interested, a lot of Canadians are interested. I don't have to hire a pollster. I have my own.
Right there. You have 10 million accounts, or million followers, Kevin O'Leary. And I get that. That's fucking huge in terms of followers. How many of those followers are bots? Because if I'm not mistaken, the majority of Canadians do not want to join the US as the 51st state. Let's continue.
Government is generally believed to have gone quite well for us, right? We saw trade increase 30% in that time, USMCA. So why not just let those guys negotiate right now instead of kind of inserting yourself in this debate?
Listen, there's no government in Canada. There's no guys doing anything right now. We're in limbo. And I'm free to have
Well, there was a
conversations with
big meeting
anybody.
earlier this week with all of the premiers, cabinet ministers that have been going down to Mar-a-Lago. There are people that have been working on this before Trump even got elected.
I want to be transparent with you. I advise Trump to ignore them because they're going to be gone soon. And you may think that's treason. It's not. It's just.
So, one thing I need to address here. Kevin, yes, that is treasonous. You are advising a foreign leader to not negotiate with our country. You are not an elected official. I don't give a shit how much money you make. You do not speak for Canada. And to go down there and tell like, Donald Trump not to negotiate with us purely because our elected officials won't be in office? Who gives you the right to do that? Because I didn't. I'm sure the majority of Canadians didn't. And I don't understand where you're coming from. Like, that is actually treason. Now, I understand where you're coming from. You're frustrated because our government is not working the way it should be. And I agree with you. But you do not have the right to negotiate on our behalf. And unfortunately, our elected officials who are clowns in this office right now are the ones we elected. And we just have to deal with that problem. Now, we are coming up to hopefully an election soon. Once our courts get through with the application to discuss what's going on with Parliament right now. That you can look up. I'll try and link it below because I just don't want to look it up right now. Um, there is an application in to have our government come back, and hopefully we'll have a vote of no confidence where we can elect an official who's actually going to stand for Canadians. Or at the very least, let's hope. I'll continue with the video.
A lot of people think that that's treasonous, and so how would you
And I'll tell you
respond to
why
that? They
I have
they
the
see
right
you
to do
kind of
that.
meddling
I
in a
have a
situation that
Canadian.
you have no mandate to meddle in.
I have a Canadian passport. I'm a
Listen up, guys. Apparently, if you have a Canadian passport, you can discuss trade negotiations on behalf of your country.
Canadian citizen. I do not want Justin Trudeau negotiating for me. He's an idiot. Sorry.
But it's not just Justin Trudeau, right? It's all the premiers, with the exception of Danielle Smith, right? Do you think Doug Ford is an idiot?
No, Doug Ford did not get a session in Mar-a-Lago. He's been
Coming from experience, yes, Doug Ford is an idiot. Now, that's not to say he hasn't grown and become a better politician over these last years. Um, I'll give him that. He has come up in his way. And to be actually fighting for Canadian citizens, I'm happy that he's in office. However, he is not the be all end all of what we want in politics either. He has just as many problems as our current government. So to say that we lack leadership is wrong. Our our premiers in our provinces are all trying to negotiate on the federal government's behalf because our liberal government doesn't want to have an actual conversation. Instead, they want to survive. Um, but it doesn't mean that we're without a paddle. And it really seems as if you're making it as if we are.
He should go down there and talk to him. I think he's a great guy. But I'll tell you something. The answer is not to throw tariffs at each other. The answer is to sit down and discuss. And frankly, the government that has been going down there that you just referenced is the same government that has destroyed our economy as measured by the Canadian dollar. I don't want anybody there negotiating on my behalf as a Canadian. I'm not speaking for anybody else except myself. I have every right to go to Mar-a-Lago and say whatever I want. We enjoy freedom of speech, all of us. You can do the same thing if you wish. But I'm telling you, I don't want.
And here's my freedom of speech. I don't want you representing me as a Canadian citizen. That is just my voice, my opinion. But Kevin O'Leary, I really do not want you in charge of this negotiation.
Him negotiating. I'm talking about the Liberal government. I
Yeah,
want new government.
I want to ask you about Premier Danielle Smith. So, you went down there with her and you helped facilitate that meeting. I understand. You mentioned, or you talked about her a little bit earlier, but why do you think it's a good idea um, what she's doing? So she's being criticized. People are criticizing her for essentially taking her leverage off the table. She is saying that she's not interested in restricting energy exports out of Alberta, and the criticism of that is that she's just putting her chips on the table, right, and giving away any leverage that we might have as a country. And why is she not doing that?
The idea of erasing $188 billion worth of revenue to Alberta seems stupid to me and certainly to most Canadians. That would be a really dumb thing to do. I mean,
But
you would be forcing the U.S. to find other sources of energy during a period of negotiation, and you would destroy the Alberta economy. How dumb.
Um, Kevin, Trump just came out not too long ago and said that they plan on drilling oil and creating energy reserves so we don't need to rely on Canada as an export or an import. So where are you coming from? They seem to be doing just fine without that energy. Now, we will have some contentions, but again, do we really want you representing us? Because as far as I'm concerned, you just represent your pocket.
Dumb is that? That's crazy. And that shouldn't happen. And so
but
if another premier from another province tells her to do that, I'm not surprised she says what she says, because that's a really stupid idea. That's not
yeah,
protecting your own people.
she's trying to stand up for Alberta and Albertans. But just, you're a business guy. Like if I'm a developer and I want to buy 11 houses on a block to tear down, don't those houses stand a better chance of getting a better deal if they negotiate together instead of picking them off one by one? Why is this a good strategy? Shouldn't she like give the impression, at least, that it's on the table? This massive lever that she could pull if she needed to. Why is she giving it away?
Because first of all, there hasn't been any tariffs imposed yet, and we don't know the size of them. She's dealing, as all premiers are, in a void. There's no information yet. You've made the assumption that on Tuesday there's 25%. That may happen, they may not happen. You
Yeah.
don't negotiate with a lack of information. You got to wait and see. She always has the option to shut off the spigot anytime she wants. And so right now, all these ideas of what we're going to do to the United States, and let's keep throwing barbs at Trump and let's get the rhetoric up. We don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know, I don't know. We might as well just wait and see. We do.
Right there. You don't know. So, again, what gives you the right? Not trying to say you're not right and that you could offer some benefit. But what I'm saying is, do we really want to throw our lot in with you, a billionaire, when we're up against an oligarchy of billionaires? So anyways, that was just my 2 cents on that video. It just kind of got me infuriated and is something I wanted to talk about. Now that I got that little rant out of the way, I just want to discuss a little bit of what I hope this channel can become. Um, so first off, I've taken a lot of influence, and I'm kind of hoping to get more of an interview style repartee. Hopefully, I could bring on a co-host because talking by yourself is very hard. So bringing in a co-host to be able to like actually have discussions and beat at the actual issues that come out of things would be nice to do. Um, I also would like to do a little segment of like the weird Canadian predicts, mainly because I do have a lot of weird predictions that seem to come true. Um, just wanted to throw them out there and make like see if anybody has interest in them and ideas. And of course, I'm more than welcome to anybody else's ideas. Throw them out there on what you'd like to tackle, what you'd like to hear about, what you'd like to understand. Um, I'd love to work with whoever and anybody. I'd love to work with anybody to just kind of flush out what this channel will be. So, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you like this content and like it. It'll definitely benefit the channel, and hopefully we can bring some new people our way and get. Also, if anybody out there would like to try out as a co-host or would like to edit videos or contribute in any way to this channel, feel free to reach out. I'm hoping this is more of a collaborative approach, and I look forward to your feedback. So, as the last part of this video, I'd like to offer some semblance of the weird Canadian predicts. My prediction is going to be a little bit in the future, but I see YouTube and other digital platforms that are user-driven becoming the new media. To be honest, I think it's going to become our new news, our new TV, our new movies. We have the tech in the infancy stage to give content creators the ability to render and create video at the level of Hollywood studios. And my prediction for the next 5 years is I think YouTube and um, not streaming providers, the user driven content and the user driven video content becoming vast. Um, You'll no longer need to have to worry about that shitty ending of Game of Thrones because somebody will have crafted the best ending that there could be, and you'll get to watch it for free. Um, I see it as one of the biggest things dying in the future is the Hollywood studios as we know it. They have taken an approach of just throwing things in an algorithm to see if it works, or not even to see if it works. They know it'll work, and that's what I think is driving us away from them. It's become algorithmic. When movies came out in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 70s, 70s, 80s, 90s, those were some of the best content out there. It was inventive, it was creative, it was new, and all of us had our minds blown. But as the market has grown and Hollywood has definitely put its hand in there, they have stopped taking chances on good ideas and just reformulating the same old shit. So I really think with things like Sora and these video editing AI tools that we're going to put the power back into the hands of the true creator. And I'm really hoping Hollywood, not Hollywood specifically, but actors come together and create a studio that is generated for the art of film photography and making film. Like, I truly think if we can get back to the roots of creating for the sake of creating, we will have a more prosperous society because there's no reason to lock down creative ideas when all you can do when you let them out in the world, all there is to do is expand on them. I I understand that there's this whole I built this so it's mine mentality, and I get that. For the most part, it benefits you, and I get that. But by doing that, you're really taking away from it. Like, just to point out one example, J.K. Rowling, and this is by far not the only example out there, but it is the one that comes to the top of the head of saying that her creatures and her creations are hers and hers alone. I'm sorry. You let your story out in the world, and you have to admit to the fact that it is no longer your story. It has resonated with so many people that it has become everybody's story. And I think that's where we're getting things wrong, is we are putting things out in the world and saying it's ours, like our own as an individual. But just by releasing it, you've created a whole world on its own. And to say that you have that right to the world, I just, I don't think anybody sees that. And I wish we'd get back to that point. And I see us getting back to that point with AI. And who knows? Maybe we'll get there. But we'll see. Anyways, that's just my crazy prediction for this week.